Hi, everyone, and welcome to the AI Experience News Roundup. Julian read everything so you don't have to, and I'm here to bring you the most relevant AI stories you probably haven't seen, all in under 10 minutes. Let's dive in.
If you think about what happened from GPT-3 to 3.5 to 4, it just got smarter.
The field became known as artificial intelligence.
Can machines really think?
Why are banks starting to limit a technology that was supposed to cut costs? In an article published by Le Monde titled, "Banks Are Limiting Their Use of AI, Terrified by the Costs It Creates," we learn that financial institutions are starting to control the use of artificial intelligence much more closely. After allowing employees to experiment quite freely, banks now want to make sure the savings are higher than the costs. Crédit Agricole has created a new organization to provide AI tools across the group with one clear goal: to measure whether they are actually profitable. The main problem is scale. One French bank mentioned in the article has 12 million customers and handles almost 60 billion interactions every year, including transfers, account statements, loans, and financial advice. Even a very cheap AI request can become extremely expensive when it is repeated billions of times. The article also mentions several cases where spending went out of control. One American company reportedly spent $500 million in a single month after allowing its developers to use Claude without limits. Uber reportedly used its entire yearly budget in just 3 months before placing limits on AI use. This concern helps explain why no banking process in France is currently managed entirely by AI. Chatbots can answer questions and guide customers, but they do not complete personalized financial transactions on their own. Banks are also worried that the price of AI tokens could rise in the future. They are cheap today, but suppliers may increase prices once companies depend on these tools. Arthur Mensch, the CEO of Mistral AI, believes companies may eventually spend the equivalent of 10% of their payroll on AI tokens. This story is a reminder that AI does not automatically reduce costs. At a very large scale, it can create a new bill that is hard to predict and even harder to control. Do real estate agents now have a lying machine in their pocket? In an article published by The Verge titled, "AI is Cursing Renters with the Promise of Impossible Homes," we learn how generative AI is making some real estate listings look far better than the homes they actually show. In New York, Joyce thought she had found a spacious, renovated studio with a fireplace. When she arrived, the apartment was smaller, the stove was damaged, and there was no fireplace. One detail should have raised a red flag. In one of the photos, a plant had been placed directly on the gas stove. Virtual staging existed before AI. It can add furniture or show how a home could look after renovation. It is also much cheaper than physically staging a property. When used clearly and honestly, it can help renters and buyers imagine the potential of a space. The problem begins when the images change the real features of the property. People now have to inspect every photo for strange furniture, too many plants, or architectural details that may not actually exist. The article also points out that listing descriptions are becoming more repetitive. Every apartment is charming, cozy, or filled with spa-like finishes. The real home disappears behind a promise created by a machine. Some U.S. states are starting to respond. California now requires sellers and agents to disclose when AI has been used to alter property images. In New York, brokers are already banned from publishing misleading ads, but the rules around AI-generated edits are still less clear. AI did not create dishonesty in real estate. It simply makes it faster, cheaper, and much harder to detect. Why is Ford bringing back veteran engineers after betting on artificial intelligence? In a Bloomberg article titled, "Ford's AI Hiccups Lead Carmaker to Rehire Graybeard Engineers," we learn that the U.S. automaker has hired 350 experienced engineers after its automated quality control systems failed to meet expectations. Ford had gradually given more responsibility to artificial intelligence and automation. The company believed that feeding design requirements into these systems would be enough to produce high-quality vehicles. According to Ford's vice president of vehicle hardware engineering, that assumption turned out to be wrong. The automaker has now brought back technical specialists. Some are former Ford employees, while others previously worked for suppliers. Nicknamed the Graybeards, they look for possible failure points before parts even reach the production line. Ford is not giving up on AI. These experienced engineers are also training younger employees and helping reprogram the automated tools. Their knowledge is being used to improve the technology rather than simply replace it. According to Ford CEO Jim Farley, the strategy has already helped lower warranty and recall costs, creating savings worth several $100 million. This story is a reminder that some knowledge cannot be found in a design document. It comes from decades of watching defects, materials, and production lines in the real world. AI can analyze rules and requirements, but experienced humans still need to teach it where to look. Hollywood has created a star who will never age, never go on strike, and never ask for a raise. In an article published by The Hollywood Reporter titled AI Actor Tilly Norwood to make feature debut in coming-of-age movie Misaligned, we learn that Tilly Norwood, an actor created entirely with artificial intelligence, will play the lead role in a feature film for the first time. The movie, called Misaligned, is described as a hybrid production. Traditional film and television professionals will work alongside AI specialists. Particle 6, the company behind the project, says it has trained more than 30 members of its team to use these new tools. The story takes place in the Tillyverse, a digital world located in the cloud. Tilly plays an AI being with no body, no childhood, and no personal life experience, but with access to everyone else's. A rogue bot from the dark web convinces her to abandon her guardrails and develop her own desires. The more human she becomes, the more famous she gets. She also begins to feel shame because her identity was built from all of humanity. The movie openly explores the discomfort created by its artificial lead actor. Tilly Norwood has already caused strong reactions in Hollywood, where several major figures have spoken out against the use of AI in filmmaking. The founder of Particle 6 still insists that the project requires a great deal of human work. According to her, AI can support high-quality storytelling only when it is guided by human skill, judgment, and time. Artificial intelligence is turning every policyholder into a potential forger. In an article published by The Guardian, we learn that British insurer Aviva detected more than 18,000 suspicious insurance claims in 2025, worth a total of £233 million. This was a record for the company, although the figures included Direct Line brands for the first time after Aviva acquired them last summer. Motor insurance fraud accounted for more than 7 out of 10 suspicious cases in Aviva's UK general insurance business. The methods are changing. Fraudsters are staging fewer fake crashes. Instead, they are exaggerating vehicle damage, repair costs, injuries, or the length of time they need a replacement car. The value of detected motor insurance fraud rose by 39%. Artificial intelligence creates a new challenge. Aviva is seeing more claims supported by AI-generated images or altered documents. Some fraudsters use these tools to create fake accident scenes or add damage to a vehicle. In one example, a photo of a van taken from social media was edited to show cracks in the bumper. Aviva is responding with its own AI tools and advanced analytics, supervised by humans, to identify suspicious claims more quickly. The insurer also stresses that fraud affects everyone. It increases costs for insurance companies and can lead to higher premiums for customers. When fraud is discovered, the entire claim may be rejected. AI is becoming both a tool for fraud and a tool for detection. It can create more convincing fake evidence, while also forcing insurers to automate more of their investigations to tell what is real and what is not.
That wraps up this week's AI Roundup. Julian will be back on Sunday with a new interview in English or in French, and I'll return for the next news digest soon. If you're enjoying the show, those 5-star ratings really help. See you soon.